war in Ukraine, a lot of people have been pointing out the other armed conflicts, including Georgia and Chechnya. Last year, news even came out about GRU sabotage mission in the Czech Republic. But one attempted interference that few people know of is the 2016 attempted attack on the government in Montenegro. To give you some context, Montenegro is a small nation that has always been connected to Serbia and had been a part of Yugoslavia. Although Montenegrins mostly speak Serbian, they're their own ethnic group and have their own national identity. During the Yugoslav wars, they remained a part of what was then called the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia, or the Union of Serbia and Montenegro. In May of 2006, a referendum was agreed to, and 55% of the Montenegrin population voted in favor of independence. While the rest of the world accepted the results, Serbia wasn't too happy. Not only would they lose a significant part of their population and economy, they would also be turned into a landlocked country, losing their coast, a source of tourism, and possible ports. Currently, Serbia's main port is on the Danube River, but being a river, it can only carry small cargo. It would pale in comparison to a seaport. As certain rules in geopolitics dictate, if a former territory can't be your territory anymore, then maybe it can at least be close to you in bilateral relations. That was also taken down. After independence, Montenegro sought closer relations with the West. They even affirmed their intention to join the European Union and even adopted the euro to affirm that commitment, making it one of the few non-EU nations to have the euro as their currency. How did the other side respond? That is where the title of this video comes in. In October 2016, parliamentary elections were going to be held. A group of people in the country met up in Podgorica, the capital city of Montenegro. Included were pro-Russian Montenegrin opposition figures, several Serbian nationals, including members of Serbia's special gendarmerie, and among them was also the former head Bratislav Dikic. Aiding them were at least 2 Russian nationals and GRU officers, and for those of you who don't know, the GRU is a branch of the Russian military that specializes in intelligence. Their names were Eduard Shishkomov and Vladimir Popov, with Shishkomov already being known to Western forces as he was expelled from Poland sometime prior for attempting to spy on NATO there. Upon his arrival, NATO intelligence grew suspicious about his activities. Their suspicions were confirmed when an unnamed member of the plotting group turned the others over. NATO intelligence then worked with the Montenegrin Ministry of Internal Affairs, and on October 16th, special police forces raided the perpetrator's safe house. 20 people were arrested, which were 15 Serbs, 3 Montenegrins, and 2 Russians, all of which were taken into custody. A formal investigation was launched shortly after, and it was concluded that the plotters had attempted to stage a coup by assassinating the then Prime Minister Duško Marković, the President Milo Đukanović, assaulting the parliament and hijacking the elections and installing a pro-Russian government. Starting in June 2017, the perpetrators were put on trial and were later convicted of conspiring to commit terrorist attacks and endangering the safety of its constitution and the country. When questioned, both Russian and Serbian government officials denied any involvement in the attempted coup, but suspiciously, Russian President Vladimir Putin fired certain high-ranking members of the SVR after the coup, and an unscheduled visit was made by Nikolai Patrushev, the Secretary of Russia's Security Council, all the way to Belgrade. As a result of the conspiracy, the Montenegrin parliament voted 46-0 to join the alliance, and tensions began mounting between Russia and Montenegro because of it. In 2019, NATO deployed its counter-hybrid team to Montenegro to stop anything like this from happening again. To this day, the small Adriatic country remains a part of the alliance, and it is still at odds with both Russia and Serbia. Well, it's quite understandable why. Montenegro has seen many crises, and other larger countries have tried to influence it. It just goes to show what will happen when one side feels threatened. They will turn to the other side. We've seen that example with Sweden and Finland, so it would be good to remember where Putin as the biggest NATO recruiter in the 21st century started, in Montenegro.